And it's time for another Parenity brand startup journal. This is entry number 3 for the week ending July 5th, 2024. Parenity is a totally bootstrapped solopreneur brand being built from the ground up by me, your host, Robbie Bond. We aim to bring serenity into the lives of exhausted parents everywhere. At Parenity, we envision a world where parents are less exhausted, better supported, more appreciated, and live in increased serenity. If you would like to read the more in-depth version of the things I'm about to share with you, you can do so at parenity.com. And I go a little more in-depth there. I will also put the link to that blog post in the description for this video, just to make your life easier. You're welcome. Here are today's talking points for the part of the startup journey we're currently at with Parenity. Today, we will be talking about the product name, our launch product. Product description is complete. That took a lot of work. Talk about that a little bit. Product final quotes. We got our quotes for how much it's going to cost to actually produce these products. Founder content strategy. So we'll be talking a little bit about just balancing the roles of being a founder and CEO, and also managing the entire content strategy. And we have a few other content creation topics in here. We'll be talking about our approach and essentially how to look at content creation as brand. I'll be talking last time I talked about TikTok, we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Hopefully they do not bogart the lion's share of this episode or future episodes. Also, Elevate IP. I applied for that. It's a program that helps small businesses manage their intellectual property protection needs. We'll talk about that, and picking a bank. So first of all, we finally have a product name. We decided on this a little while ago, or I should say I decided on it. And I've sort of been glossing over it because I have sort of just gradually accepted that I've finally landed on something. So our launch product is going to be a powdered drink mix for parents and tired adults to consume in the morning. And its focus is going to be allowing exhausted parents and just grown-up folks in general approach their day with more brightness, more alertness, being more wakeful, and having more cognitive ability, which is apparently something I need right now. So we got to get rolling on this. So the name of the product. The name of the product is Adulting Done Bright. How do you like that? It's gone through a few iterations and a few versions. I've finally landed on this because essentially it boils down to Adulting Done Bright includes two core concepts of the brand. It's for adults, or more importantly, not necessarily just for adults, but for, like, the word adulting suggests that it is people who are feeling the stresses of having to deal with the act of adulting, which is just, all of the stresses of adult life. So adulting and then done bright. Obviously, we want to approach our days with brightness and feel more awake and alive and alert and ready to go. And that is the aim of the product. So, yeah, it's right there. It rolls off the tongue just fine. It's upbeat, playful, being a playful twist on, doing, something done right. But in this case, it's done bright. And it's only 5 syllables. So I consider this done. Except that the people I'm working with to produce this product, they're also handling the NPN application for us, and apparently I had to give them a list of possible product names in case the primary one gets rejected. Hopefully it won't, but I think there can be a variety of reasons they would reject a name. So I'll just run down the list. Adulting Done Bright is number 1. My backup name would be Serenergize. Serenergize. So basically kind of merging serenity and energize. Rise and Shine. That was actually the very first name I went to in my head, and I stuck with that for quite a while as kind of the working product name. but I don't know. I've got to think it's in use somewhere else, and it always seemed a little bit vague and generic to me. But I won't be sad if that's what we end up getting stuck with. Number 4 is just Parenity. We'll use the name of the company as its flagship product name. Number 5 would be N-able, N-able. Number 6 would be Bolster. I just kind of like that word, bolster. Bolsters your ability to get through your day. And number 7 would be just a variation of that, Brain Bolster. So some of those obviously I like better than others, but so that's where we're at. Hopefully we get to stick with Adulting Done Right, because that's kind of what I like. Next, product description is complete. This took a lot of work. I'm going to put the link to this in the description for the video. I've just posted it as a blog post just so it has somewhere to live where people can have a look at it, and I can try to get some feedback from folks. There's just so much information about the product, and I didn't want to half-ass the product and the ingredient selection. So in this product description, I've gone into detail about exactly what each product is, what it does, or what it's been shown to do in studies. I really wanted to do my best to show the data behind it, as well as detail why I selected the dosages that I did. There's a lot that goes into picking the dosage of an ingredient, and so I've done my best to just sort of lay it all out there. Now, do I think that everyone is going to read this kind of long-winded product description? No, but I want the information there for people in case they're wondering. I have put the work into this to be methodical about the ingredients that go into it, and I think it's going to be a great product. And I just want to make sure that people know this is not just like a kind of a pump and dump product that we're trying to make a buck off of. This is something that I actually wanted in my life, and hopefully other people do too. So like I said, go in the comments or in the description for this video. You can find the link to that product description there. Product final quotes. Don't final quotes have a way of just always being higher than the initial ballpark you got? I don't know why that is. It should be the opposite. It's shouldn't companies be trying to surprise and delight a little bit more? But what can you do? It's inflation and all that kind of stuff. But it's not much higher, and I've been kind of negotiating a little bit to try to get it bumped down, and so we'll probably have to do some blend of increasing the order quantity. I don't want to commit to too much right up front, but if it can get if it can get my profit margins up by reducing the cost to buy the inventory, then that's a good thing. The other option, of course, would be to reduce the amount per unit. I'm not interested in reducing the amount of product per container. I really want each jar to have a month's supply. I want it to be able to serve as a month's supply for customers. So I'm not gonna cheap out there. So I think it's just gonna be ordering more volume to nudge the prices down a little bit, and that's the way it'll be. As we grow, we'll have a little more leverage to get the prices that we want. Also on the pricing front, as I've said before, that there's going to be some impulse buy products or shipping threshold items, if you will, that I'm going to be ordering from overseas. And one thing I have to keep reminding myself is that being in Canada, I have to remember that most quotes I'm getting are in USD. So, I'll hear a price and at first be very excited, and then, oh yes, I have to multiply that by 1.3 something to see my actual price. But that's actually going okay so far. Last episode, I mentioned that there's going to be a bit of a delay due to the NPN application process, and so now I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to sell into the US while we wait for the Canadian natural product number. And I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. And that will also kind of dictate when I place orders for these add-on products as well. And at that point, I'll have more to say on the company that I sort of engaged with for sourcing these overseas products. Product founder strategy. One thing I'm really finding is creating video content, and it's not just the kind that you're looking at now, but the fun stuff I'm trying to do with my family, and giving parenting advice and that sort of thing. Not that I'm a professional, but I do like to help where I can, and I'm kind of having fun with that, but it also eats up a lot of time. It's hard to be the creator and the planner of the content. You don't want to create low quality content for your brand, but also being the guy who has to do all the editing effects and posting, you often find yourself shying away from certain types of content because of all the work it means in your future. And plus, being a CEO, you can get very antsy when you're considering the time that's being spent on even the easiest pieces of content. So it's a bit of a balancing act I'm finding, but it's kind of a fun one to navigate through. And one thing I need to kind of remind myself is I'm not trying to monetize content creation. Like most people, I'd need a good reason to turn down $1, but as I navigate into the world of content creation, I find that I have to remind myself that most of the advice out there, as I research how to do this well, is intended for people who want to make a living off of content creation. And that's not me. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't take the same approach as these people because, although now that I'm not working in a full-time job, I do have more time, but it flies by faster, even faster than you might think. And I can't afford to spend it all on planning, shooting, editing, posting videos to platforms. There's not that kind of time in my day, so I'm trying to be very strategic about the way I do it and how I get it all done in kind of an efficient manner. So that's something that's evolving as well. I make no mistake, I do recognize the need for a strong social presence. In terms of the content I'm going to rely on to move the needle and make some sales, I'm going to leave it to some of the completely dedicated folks who already know what they're doing. And I'll likely tap those resources via the Social Snowball platform that I mentioned in last week's edition. And a little more on TikTok. I don't want to go into them too much because they really eat up too much of my time already. But so I'll confirm that I did scrap the old TikTok account. I started fresh with a brand new one, and it seemed like I was on an okay path. We were getting some decent numbers on some of the posts, and then just in the last couple of days, I landed on some 0 view posts again, and I was so frustrated that I ended up doing this full of snark TikTok video, just seeing it. It doubled as a way of venting, and also I loaded it with a bunch of the keywords that I'm trying to that relate to the people I'm trying to get shown to. So it's a bit of an experiment in seeing if I can nudge the algorithm back into place for me, and it also just to get some things off my chest sarcastically. I'll post the link to that video in the notes for this as well. And there's also a few. There's a screenshot on the blog post for this of just if you go into Reddit and look up TikTok stuff, it's just full of people being frustrated with the algorithm and just things that are happening in their accounts that make no sense. And I think TikTok has gone a little bit too AI. They're clearly hammering out some things. Yeah, obviously I had my own complaints, but and in response to those complaints, I can already hear the suggestions. You have to have high quality content. You can't just post anything. You need to niche down. You must have violated some sort of policy. And to that, I say, please, it's a glitchy AI-driven platform that doesn't know which way is up a lot of the time. And I've seen so many really half-assed videos on there doing very well and getting shown to so many people. And yeah, it's just I and a lot of people are really sick of TikTok's automated crap. They're not there to help you, that is for sure. To wrap that note up, I'll just say content creation can easily take over your life and steal valuable time from your business and your family. I definitely recommend using it, but with a very measured approach. Don't lose your head over it. It's not everything. There are higher impact things you can be spending your time on. Second last note for this episode, I applied to the Elevate IP program, which is a program put on by the federal government here in Canada and accessed via business incubators at the provincial level. So for me here in Manitoba, I applied through North Forge, and I may be mistaken, but if I'm interpreting the email correctly, I think I've been approved for Parenity. And basically that means that I will receive education and assistance in planning the approach to protecting intellectual property. So things like our brand name, our logo. I want to find out if there's any, can we protect our formula for the drink mix product and all that kind of stuff. It's a topic I really don't know what I don't know. So I'm very happy to have applied and apparently been selected, but I'll verify all that next week and let you know where we are on that front. And how to pick a bank. This is not anything I have information about. It's just something on my mind with all the incorporation of Parenity basically behind me at this point. I just got to wait to receive that final certificate in the mail. Once that's done, I need to get a bank account going and probably a credit card and a few things like that going for the company. And I really don't know how to select one. First thing that comes to mind is finding one that's got no or very low monthly fees, because something like that matters to a business of my size that's being totally bootstrapped. But I really I don't know what to look for, and from what I've seen in my web browsing and researching, there's not a ton of difference between the different banks. There isn't one brightly shining beacon saying this is the one for you. So maybe I'm just overthinking it and thinking it needs to be more complicated than it is. And if that's the case, I will probably just go with the same bank that I do my personal banking through. But I might talk to my buddy at Flow CPA about this very soon. But I think I'll wait until I have that final certificate, just so any advice I get is actually actionable. Okay, that's it for this week. Those are my notes, and happy to hear any advice or answer any questions anyone has. Like I said, if you want to read these points more in depth, I've written them out in greater detail at parenity.com. I'll put the link in the notes. Don't worry about it. You also see this video posted as part of the blog post. So if you see this video on the post, you're in the right place. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you made it this far, congratulations. And I really appreciate you. Would love to hear from you. Talk to everyone later.